Hi, I'm Sam from Dannells and welcome to our YouTube video. Whether you're new to lampshade making or you've made one of our kits before, I'm going to show you a hack today that's going to make your shade even more professional. So I've got one here to show you. So this is what we're going to do, and that's a folded seam edge. And as you can see, this has fabric that's folded round, and I'm going to show you how to measure that out step by step today. If you've not seen our range of lampshade making kits, you can find them on Dannells.com. We have 10 different shapes of lampshades ready for you to make, and they also come in a huge range of sizes. And what I will show you in the hack, you can apply to whatever size and shape of shade that you choose. Our kits are perfect for getting the look you want at home and can be used with a fabric or covering of your choice. So let's get started on our hack. First of all, I'm just going to take you through what you're going to need to do this. So as with making our normal kit, you will need a pair of dressmaking scissors and a pair of tape scissors. So these can just be any household scissors to cut your tape with. You can also use a seam roller. You might have one of these in your crafting kit already, but this is optional. If you don't have one, really don't worry. You'll also need either a fabric marker pen or a pencil. The lines we're going to draw as part of this, you're not going to see, so it really doesn't matter too much. You'll also just need a standard ruler as well. The only specialist bit of kit you will need is an offcut of our lampshade making PVC. Now, if you don't have any offcuts because you're new to lampshade making, you could use cardboard instead. Also, as part of the kit, we have our double-sided tape, and I'll just show you that if you're not familiar with it. It's a high-tack tape, really flexible, and we're going to use that to stick our folded seam edge down. And other bits and pieces are our plain and utility ring here, and then our rolled edge tool. And these three, along with the PVC, are all part of our lampshade making kit. So I'll just lay those out. So I've already taken a few steps on making up my lampshade, and I've actually adhered our professional grade lampshade making PVC to the fabric in advance. And in every kit we have step-by-step instructions, and you can also look on YouTube and find me showing you how to make a full lampshade. So before I go any further, I'm just going to do a little bit of measuring to create our folded seam edge. So first of all, I'm going to take my strip of lampshade making PVC, and like I say, that's just an offcut, and I'm just going to cut myself 2 3 by 1 centimetre strips. So again, if you don't have this, you can replace this with cardboard and the tape. And I'm just going to take those two and peel the backing paper off each one. So we're just going to pop that on the top there, and I'm just positioning it flush with the top edge of the lampshade making PVC, but it's also important that it's flush down the side as well. So that's our top one, and then I'm just going to repeat that exactly the same on the bottom. So just remove the backing. And as I said, if you haven't got any of this at home, you could cut yourself 2 pieces of 3 by 1 centimetre cardboard and just simply use your double-sided tape to pop that on and keep it in place. So there we go, and that's at the bottom. Again, it's just parallel along here with the bottom and then flush along with the short side, okay? Then I'm going to take my ruler, and I'm going to just use my fabric eraser, and I'm going to measure from the top 1 centimetre and just mark that. And this is a nice bright blue. If you've got a dark fabric and you don't think you can see it, you could use a tailor's chalk, which would be great, or you can get a white dressmaking pencil, which would also be good. Or like I say, if you've got none of those things at home, just use a simple pencil or even a pen. So I'm just marking down because I'm going to join these dots together shortly. There we go. And then I'm just going to take the ruler and simply draw a line all the way down. And I'm extending that line at the top and at the bottom. Just make sure I catch those there. There we go. So they meet where my little tabs are at the top and bottom. And I'm just going to finish off by joining the tab to the line. And it just kind of creates almost like a little flap. And that's going to be the flap that then folds over. So as you would normally as part of lampshade making, I'm now going to cut this out, but I'm actually going to cut this first. So just using my dressmaking scissors, I'm just going to cut along the line that I've drawn. And just cut that piece away. And then I'm going to cut here down the side of the tab. Then I'm just going to cut in around the tab. And then, as normal in your lampshade making kit instructions, I'm just going to cut along the full length. And if you've not made one of our kits before, you can have a look at our YouTube demonstrations. There's one for every shape of kit that we sell and shows you how to make that up. And all I'm doing here is just simply using the PVC as a guide and just cutting away the fabric. And if it's a little bit, there's little bits here and there that get missed, don't worry too much, because you're not actually going to see those when you make up the shade. So just switching round now, I'm just going to cut the short edge. There we go. And then back to the long edge again. And when we get back here up to the top, just simply going to cut carefully around the tab. There we go. Just pull that away, and there we are. So it's very similar to how we would make a regular lampshade, but just with a slight difference. And you're probably wondering what the tabs are for, but that will all become clear in the final stages. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to remove those tabs. So very gently, they should just lift off and they can be thrown in the bin. Just going to do the bottom one. And then, as with our regular lampshade making kit instructions, I'm just going to fold back the kiss cut. I might hear a little cracking sound here and it might be popping open. And if not, don't worry, I've got a little trick to show you how to remove this really easily. So I've just folded that one back, and then I'm just going to switch over and do the same on the other side. Okay. And just to remove the kiss cut, I always just push down and pull up opposite sides, and that creates an opening, and then it's really easy to then start peeling that away. And it's one of those where you just need to take your time. My fabric's fraying a little bit, not too much. If you've got a linen fabric, it may fray a little bit more, just because the makeup of the way the fabric is made. And if you do get any frays, you can just simply cut them away. There we go, so that's one of our kiss cuts removed. And then let's go to the other one. Exactly the same again, just going to push down, pull up, open that up. and just remove that. And that fraying's not too bad at all. If you do get fraying, don't worry about it too much. You just don't want to lose too much of the fabric in that margin because it's been cut to size. It makes it really easy to make up because this has all been measured for you. But just simply take your scissors and just snip those away if you think they're going to be a problem. So just turning back to our folded seam edge now. I'm just going to take our double-sided tape, and we would be doing this at this point anyway, but I'm just going to run a length just very gently, and I don't pull at this point because you don't want to kind of distort the shape of the PVC. You don't want it curling up along there, and simply snip away with your tape scissors, and I'm going to take the backing off that straight away. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold this edge over, and that's what's going to give us that really lovely clean finish. So my tip for folding this over would be to start at the centre, and we'll just simply push it over really neatly and work towards the top there, and then exactly the same working towards the bottom. The reason we don't start on the outside edges is if we work inwards, sometimes it can create a little bit of bulk in the middle and it won't be quite as smooth and clean. So that's starting to look like our edge now that we're looking for. Now at this point you have a few different choices. So I just want to introduce you to some of our other products for seams. So you can by all means use the double-sided tape, or alternatively you can use our seam stick tape, which is really strong adhesive, and this is what professional lampshade makers use, and you could run a strip of that along there and that would really give you some good adhesion in closing your shade. The other alternative is our soft furnishing tape. Again, really super strong, very popular with upholsterers and soft furnishers, and you could use that as well. Or finally, you could use our Fix and Flash super glue as well, so that would also work equally. I'm going to use our double-sided tape, and I'm just going to simply lay that on top of the fabric, just very carefully. Again, I'm not pulling, I'm just laying it on really gently, and I'm just going to run a strip from the top to the bottom of the PVC. And I'm just going to cut away at the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to remove that ready to roll our rings. There we go. Okay, and now we're ready to start on to the next stage of making up the lampshade making kit. So I'll just move some of my materials and equipment out of the way, and we're going to get on with coating the rings with tape. So I've just tucked the final section underneath there, and I've just got my tab left. Just a couple of tips for your tab is with your thumb, just hold on to the edge, and we're actually going to start at the outer edge and work towards the end of the tab. So it just means that this stays really neat. So you kind of think this isn't going to go underneath, but it will. So I'm just holding that and just very gently, sort of short, sharp movements, pushing that tab underneath. And that's why we create the tab in the first place, is just to make sure that there's enough fabric to curl around and give you a really professional finish. So that's your tab tucked in, and you can just repeat that on the other side as well. And then here we're just going to hold with the thumb and simply push that tab under. And there you have it, a really beautiful folded edge seam. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.